Okay, it is 9:01, and we are going to get started here. Let me do a quick message real quick. Everybody should be getting online very, very shortly. Okay, so welcome to week 3 of being intentionally fearless. So let's go ahead and jump right in because I always run out of time. So first of all, I just want to do a little bit of review and a little bit of recognition. I want to thank those of you who submitted your tracking for the last week. I know that I checked it earlier today and I didn't get a chance to check it again tonight to see if anyone else had responded, but I will get to that tonight or first thing tomorrow morning so that we can make sure we get all of your questions answered. If somebody had a dire question that I don't get answered tonight, go ahead and send me a text message while we're on here live, or I can send out a Facebook message tomorrow so that everybody can benefit from the answer to that question. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So the first week we did this, we talked about our goals in the class. We went over the scripts to use to book your facials and turn them into parties. And then we invited you to invite your customers to do some marketing calls, marketing hangouts with us, and you to do a follow-up call with your guests. So we're going to continue doing those. You already have them. They're in the pinned post on our Facebook page, and they're also in one of the documents that's attached in our Intentionally Fearless page too, so that you can track them on paper. But I want to encourage you, if you have customers who have not listened to a marketing call, even if they have no intention whatsoever of signing up to do Mary Kay, go ahead and have them listen to that marketing call. Number one, because they might know someone if this is not for them. And number two, it's informing them about our company. So they're more informed of the company that they are giving their business to. And that's one thing that we've talked about lately is, do your customers know where your money, where their money is going when they're purchasing products from you? Do they know that they're supporting a company that is family owned, that is 100% debt free, that is God first, family second, and career third, that also supports you? And then when they buy their product from you, they're supporting your family and your bills and your goals and dreams as well. So having them listen to these calls are going to also help them become more informed customers. So continue to do those. Last week we answered a few questions and we talked about your closings and upselling. So when you deliver product from to a customer from you, you want to have a roll-up bag handy. Let me grab mine to show you real quick. And again, this is a huge shout out to Dina Weyerman, who is so good at doing this. What Dina has done is she has taken a roll-up bag and she has filled it with products that are discontinued, that were limited edition from past quarters. And here's just an example. I just have a roll-up bag and I have them labeled. I just have a gift of beauty. This is for anybody who purchases anything. I have a section for my people who are at parties. I have a section for people who do career copies, and they can pick an item from here, or sometimes I'll just say, go ahead, you can shop through the whole thing. And I have items in here that have been discontinued. And what Dina has taught us to say with these is that when you show them to your customers, you just say, would you like to take a look at my last chance items? And not necessarily telling them that they're discontinued, and let them shop from your bag. Now, if there's somebody who says, oh, I really want this, but I'm not sure I want to get it right now, then you say, oh, I forgot to tell you, they're 20% off, and give them a little discount. But don't advertise that 20% off until you know that they're on the fence, because they may be willing to pay full price for it. So that's an extra bonus for you, and that will help you get some product moving. So another thing we talked about last week is who to look for. What type of quality characteristics do we look for when we're asking someone to join your team and to consider this Mary Kay opportunity? So this week we have a couple of things we're going to cover. We're going to cover getting bookings from your bookings, and we're going to cover show me the money, honey. And we're going to see how much of this we can get to in the next 24 minutes. So, okay. First thing I want to re-emphasize to you guys, the main thing, if I could give you one piece of advice that will make or break your business, my one big secret that's not a secret because I talk about it all the time, is intentional consistency. Intentional consistency in everything you do. Intentional consistency in spending time booking, and spending time doing faces, and spending time with your doing customer service, spending time inviting people to listen to the opportunity, and spending time working with your team as well. Now, you may not be able to do every single one of those every day, but if you can consistently get in the habit of concentrating even on one of those one day of the week. So let's say Monday, your major focus for the Monday is to work on bookings all day on Monday to see how many bookings you can get. And on Tuesday, your major focus could be customer follow-up. So you're going to go through your customers and you're going to see who do you need to contact, and we're going to talk about that tonight. We're also going to, who do you need to contact? So just divide those tasks up however you want to, whether you want to do it daily or whether you want to do it weekly. And set yourself a schedule of a time limit. You may not be able to spend an hour a day. I know I can spend an hour a day when my kids are in school, but during the summertime, I don't really get hour blocks of time here at home when my kids are at home to work on things. So it may be a 45-minute thing, or maybe a half an hour thing, or maybe a half an hour here and a half an hour there, or 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Whatever works for you, get it set in stone. You guys, that can be a non-negotiable thing. A non-negotiable part of your week is to spend 15 minutes a day on Mary Kay, and it could be 15 minutes on Monday booking, just like we said, 15 minutes a day on Tuesday doing customer service follow-up, things like that. So be consistent, be intentionally consistent. Otherwise, your time's going to get robbed from you, and we're going to be at the end of the week, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't do anything in my business again. So, okay. So don't quit, you guys. Don't quit. If it hurts a little bit, it's working, because it's going to get you out of your comfort zone, and that's what's going to grow you, and that's what's going to stretch you. Really, people don't grow, they don't improve, they don't get a new PR for how many bookings they have in a week or anything like that by doing the same old thing. They do just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Just like I think we told the story a couple weeks ago, I hope it was here, about Michael Phelps and how he said that he knew everybody else was practicing 6 days a week. So in order for him to practice, I think he practiced 7. Whatever it was, whatever everybody else was practicing, he upped it by 1 day. And he knew, I think it was by practicing that 7th day, he was able to gain 52 more days a year of practice. And that's what put him in the range for the 8 gold medals, was push it a little bit harder, make it hurt just a little bit more, because you know that's what's going to be worth it. So tonight I do want to talk to you about how to get bookings from your bookings. And this is such an important part of your business, because when you have bookings from your bookings, then you never have to pick up the phone and start texting people or calling people again to get facials and parties booked. So a couple of tips for you when you're booking. You guys book with confidence. Everybody's going to have an appointment with you. Like, walk into the party and just know in your head, they are not walking out of there without a second appointment on your books. And it's going to be an individual appointment that they're going to be bringing their friends to. It's just a done deal. You're going to go in and you're going to basically tell them, this is how I run my business. This is what you get as my customer. This is the way it's going to be. And they're going to be so appreciative of that. So be aware of what you're thinking and what you're expecting. If you go in and your intention and you're telling yourself, okay, I'm really, really nervous for this party. I really hope I get like 1 sale. I'm going to cross my fingers that 1 person will have a party. You're going to be lucky to get 1 sale and 1 person have a party. If you're determined and you're expecting it, that is when it's going to happen. So one thing to help you is, as you walk into your appointment, as you're driving to your appointment, visualize your hostess. You should know what she looks like. If you've met her before. If you haven't met her before, hopefully you've friended her on Facebook, so you kind of know what she looks like. But visualize herself at the end of your appointment, looking in her mirror when you say, how does your skin feel? And she starts to rub it, and you say, what do you think? Take a look at yourself in the mirror. Tell me what you think about the way that you look. Imagine her feeling confident. Imagine her smile. Imagine her shoulders going back. And as she looks at herself and she's, oh my gosh, that's me. I feel beautiful. When she feels that way, of course she's going to have a second appointment with you, and of course she's going to invite more friends because she wants everybody to feel that way. So your job as you head into that is to create it in your head so that it can become a reality. You get the life you create, and you create the life you expect. So what are you expecting? Are you expecting everybody to book? Or are you expecting to get lucky for one? What do you expect when you go in? Are you thoroughly creating and expecting the best from all of your appointments? Now, when I am physically at my appointment, I'm going to say to my hostess, whether it's a facial or a double facial or a party, I say at the very beginning, this is how I run my business. Today we're going to introduce you to skincare because the most important thing I can do is to teach you how to take care of your skin. I love to play with color. Color is fantastic. But if you don't have a clean palette, it doesn't matter how much color you put on. If you don't have a clean canvas, it doesn't matter how much color you put on. The color's not going to look really good. So we need to take care of your skin first. So today, my ideal situation today is to get you started on our skincare program. Boom. Right there, I told her she needs a skincare set. And we'll do a little bit of color just so you don't feel like you're leaving here with a naked face. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you started on that. And in 2 weeks, I'm going to come back. That way you've got a good 2 weeks to kind of figure this out. And if you have any questions, we'll know by then. If we need to tweak anything, we'll know by then. But in 2 weeks, I'm going to come back, and that's when we're going to play with color. You get to invite some of your friends to that appointment so that they can share in the fun too, because it's really fun to get together and have some girlfriend time. Now, I will tell them if I'm at a party, I'm going to say when we have that second appointment, you're allowed to share your appointment with up to 5 of your friends, because then it's a privilege. And she's like, oh, that's really cool. I get to bring friends with me. Now, I'm also going to give an incentive for the hostess to encourage her friends to book. So however many people are there, I'm going to have, that's going to be the incentive. If there's 3 people, I'm going to say, when our hostess has 3 bookings here tonight, she's going to get this product when all 3 of them hold. And I'm going to pick the product. You could do like a Skin Vigorate brush. She's going to get a Skin Vigorate brush for free when all 3 of these appointments hold. And I say that after I talk about her Skin Vigorate brush, because she's going to be drooling over it, and she's going to be pushing them to hold it because she wants to get that party or wants to get that brush. And certainly for 3 parties, I'm going to do an item that's a little bit more. It's not going to be just an eyeshadow. It's going to be something she's drooling over. But it only cost me $25. You guys, I'll take 3 parties for $25. So while I'm going through the whole class, I will say to them, at your follow-up appointment, at your color-up appointment, when we do your gland slam, and I'm going to call it different things, but I'm going to refer to that second appointment a minimum of 7 times. I probably refer to it way more than that, but a basic is 7 times. So I will tell them at the very beginning they're going to get one. I'm going to tell them that tonight everybody's going to try the Timewise skincare line, but we have 5 skincare lines. And I'm going to tell them a little bit about the skincare lines, and I'm going to say, now, if you want to try a different skincare line than what we have here tonight, you're going to get to do that at your follow-up appointment. Then we're going to go through some products, and I'm going to let the hostess do microdermabrasion on her face. Everybody else just gets to do it on the back of a hand or an elbow, and I'll say at your follow-up appointment, you get to do that on your face. When it comes time for the color, she's going to get to do, or she's going to do liquid and powder foundation. She's going to get to do powder eyeshadows. Everybody else gets liquid foundation, a cream eye color, lip gloss, and mascara. And I'm going to say, you guys get to play with these colors while she gets a little bit more pampering, because she's the one who was my contact person. She invited me into her home tonight. She cleaned the house for me, so she gets some extra pampering. At your follow-up appointment, when you share me with your friends, you're going to get that same service. So I just keep telling them, keep telling them. So at the end of the party, we covered our clothes last week of how we go through the roll-up bag. When I bring each person individually over for their individual clothes, I'm going to get her order. I'm going to ask her, how does your skin feel? What was your favorite products and things like that? What do you want to take home with you tonight? And then I'm going to pull out my calendar, and I'm going to say, okay, so for your follow-up appointment, this is a Wednesday night. Are Wednesday evenings good for you, or would a Tuesday afternoon be better? And I'm going to give her those 2 choices again. Remember, we always give 2 choices. And then I'll remind her, if she has at least 2 friends join her, then she gets the same hostess benefits that the hostess got tonight, which my plan is $75 for $35. She gets $75 worth of product for $35. And I get to remind her of that. So I'll go back to her set sheet after I've gotten her order and say, okay, I know you said you wanted the roll-up bag tonight with the 4 sets, but you were also eyeing this other set over here. So remember, at your follow-up appointment, you get $75 worth of product for $35. So let's keep that on your wish list, and you can get that as part of the items at your party. Then another thing I do is I want to coach her to have the best turnout possible so she can get the most product possible, and it introduces me to as many of her friends as possible. But I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of detail with that at the party with her because I have other people that I need to service. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pencil down a date and a time that I can call her either the following day or the day after that. So within 24 to 48 hours, I'm going to call her and go through some coaching things and coach her how to have a rocking party. Now, if you don't know what to do to coach your hostess, on our UnitNet website, there's some coaching information, hostess coaching. If you need help finding it, let me know, but check that out first because I know Shelley does a great job of doing that. There's like a checklist of things on there. So that's just a little bit tonight that I wanted to cover about getting bookings from your bookings. Now, I want to cover just a tad bit on customer service, okay? So in your notebook, I want you to write down 3 plus 3 plus 3, okay? And this is how often you contact your customers. So I'm going to give you some quick scripts. You guys, I'm just going to read through these scripts once just for the sake of time, but you can pause this and write it down as you need to, okay? And this is recorded, so you can go back and watch it again tomorrow if you need to. So we want to follow up with our customers we want to follow up with them 3 days after they get their product, 2 to 3 weeks after they get their product, and about 3 months after they get their product, okay? So I'm going to give you the script. You can say this in a call or a text, however you want to. But I'm just going to remind her, hey, Susie, it's Debbie with Mary Kay. Just wanted to say thanks so much for a great time the other day. Hope you had as much fun as I did. I just want to do a little follow-up and make sure that you are loving all of your products you purchased. Now, I'm not going to say, how are your products working for you? I'm going to say, are you loving your products that you've got? Do you have any questions? And I kind of leave that open-ended because I want her to respond back to me, okay? That's about it. Do you have any questions? Is there anything else you need? Just a courtesy text. And then, so that's what I do about 2 to 3 days after. And then about 2 or 3 weeks after, you're going to give her another little text and say, hey, Susie, it's Debbie with Mary Kay. I just am doing a little check, and I want to see how awesome your skin is feeling. Again, how does your skin feel versus how awesome is your skin feeling? Don't want to take up a ton of your time, but I just wanted to do a quick check to make sure you didn't have any questions on anything or to see if there's anything else I can get you. Super simple. It's just a customer appreciation. I remember the very first, maybe it was the second. It was the second Mary Kay car that we picked up because we picked it up from a dealership in St. Mary's. And I remember we had it for about 2 weeks, and they called. Are you loving your new car? Do you have any questions? Is there anything we could do to help you get used to it or to get more comfortable with it? And I hung up the phone and went, customer service. That's why they're a successful business, because they take the time to do the follow-up call. Now, that was my second car because the first Mary Kay car we picked up from another dealership. Customer service was awful, which is why I specifically called Mary Kay and said, don't send my car back to them. I want cars from a different place every time from here on out. So customer service can make or break you. Okay, so that's the 3-month follow-up. Then this is going to kind of depend on what I've done with her. If I have sent her a lookbook, I will say, hey, Susie, it's Debbie with Mary Kay. Just want to make sure that you got that book I sent you in the mail, and what do you think of that free sample that we put in there for you? Because remember, if you do PCP, the customer sends a sample in the lookbook. If it's somebody I haven't sent a lookbook to, or if it's time lookbooks haven't come out, I just say, hey, it's Susie, it's Debbie with Mary Kay. Just checking in on you, want to see what you need, what I could do for you to keep you looking beautiful. Or sometimes I say, what products you're getting low on, what can I bring by to you? Sometimes I say, we just came out with some new spring products. I would love to stop by and show them to you. And while I'm stopping by, bring you anything you're getting low on. And most recently, just this week, I put myself in a mascara-thon. I think I even put this on Facebook, on our Women of Wonder page, where I sent my customers a message and said, I'm in a mascara challenge to sell a bunch of mascaras by the end of tonight. would love if you could pick up a mascara for me. If you don't need a mascara, but you need something else, that totally helps too. And I got a message back from a girl. She says, I really don't need a mascara, but if it's going to help you, I'll get one from you. She hasn't purchased from me in like 3 or 4 years. But I just keep every couple of months, hey, do you need anything? Do you need anything? And I don't harass her or anything like that. If she doesn't respond, she's busy, whatever, that's fine. Excuse me. So she texted me back and she said, I really don't need a mascara, but I'll take one if it'll help you out. But I have some really dark circles under my eyes. Is there anything you can do for that? Oh my gosh, of course I can. Plus, we just learned a trick this week from Lori Hogg. So she got a concealer and that matches her skin tone because I had her foundation shade on file, and we mixed it with the Shade 3 highlighting pen. This is a total side note. Check back with me on later if you don't know what that trick is, because we don't have time to discuss it right now. But she sent me a text later, and because I said, thank you so much for supporting my business. And she said, of course, I enjoy your text messages and would love to do anything to help you out because you are always so sweet and checking up on me. You guys, she hasn't purchased from me in 3 years. Her job, she does like the online Facebook advertising and technology stuff for a different car dealership here in Salina. So she's online all the time. She does a lot of technology, a lot of texting, things like that, and she just appreciated my customer service. So that's why she purchased the product from me. And I delivered it to her yesterday, and she sent me a text tonight, and she's like, okay, I'm trying this out, and she tried the product, and she sent me a message, and she's like, this is the simplest thing, and I love it, and I can tell a huge difference. So customer service. Okay, real quick, we're down to less than 10 minutes, and I want to give you 10 financial tips. We're going to show you the money, honey. One of the things that I very recently have started doing, thank you, Dina Wiren, is tracking every penny that we spend. I do a pretty good job of tracking what I spend in my business, but I don't track enough of our personal finances. Dina has this amazing spreadsheet that she will probably send you if you like hug her tight enough. And it's a spreadsheet where you just put in your expenses. And we heard a tip from Leah Lachlan that she's an obsessive tracker. So basically what I've started doing is as I write checks out or receipts or whatever, then I just enter them into the spreadsheet that Dina has created for us. Or anytime we put a charge on our credit card and we pay that off at the end of the month, I can just print the bill and I can plug these things in, and I can see where we are spending our money compared to what money we're bringing in. And I cannot remember, you guys, I didn't take good enough notes, how much Leah saved the year she started doing this. National Sales Director Leah Lachlan became an obsessive tracker about every penny they spent personally as well as in her business. It was, for some reason, $8,000 comes in my head. I don't know if it was 8 or 18, but she saved thousands of dollars just by paying attention to where her money was going. And I think sometimes when you're logging it in, you're thinking, okay, do I really need that pop? Do I really need that McDonald's today? Is it worth going in and saying, oh, they went more money out the drain when I had like lunch meat I could have made at home or something like that? It just kind of makes you more conscious. So become an obsessive tracker. Again, you guys, that is becoming intentionally consistent with what you're doing. So 10 tips real quick in 5 minutes. Number 1, get your inventory up to where it needs to be for your customer base. That doesn't mean you need a full inventory right now, but look around at what your customer base is and get your inventory up to that point. There's so much more confidence that you have in your business when your customers say, hey, do you happen to have da-da-da-da at the last minute? And you're like, yep, it's right here. I keep products on the shelf for you. And when they know you have stuff, they're going to come back to you more and more, and they're going to come back to you for more than what they originally did. So they may say, I need a new foundation, but oh, you do have that foundation brush that I saw in the magazine? I'll totally take one of those. And then, of course, you want to sell a brush cleaner with it, too. Okay. Number 2, this is a big one. Unless it's an emergency or a brand new customer, stop trading product with your sister consultants. We do this. I do this. If it's a customer who needs it because she's going on vacation, or if it's a brand new customer and so you want to get her product as soon as possible, as long as you are placing an order within the next 24, 48 hours, or you can trade her something immediately, you guys, we depend on each other a little bit too much. We rely on each other a little too much, and it can be a crutch because it's wasting your time of driving back and forth and connecting with them. And it begins to impose on your sister consultants a little bit. Their inventory is for their customers. Okay. All right. Here's another one. Number 3. Stop placing small orders. You guys, every time you place an order, you pay that shipping amount, which is $9 and whatever. That eventually starts cutting into your profits when you place an order, place an order, place an order. So sometimes it might be helpful if you do one large order at the end of the month versus small orders every week. Okay, that's going to save you a ton of money by the end of the month. All right, number 4. Use your card when you can, like if you have a credit card or a bank loan. But when you use it, make sure you're using something with a 0% interest or a low interest and you're paying it off as soon as possible. If it's a 6 months no interest rate, then at the end of the 6 months, that card better be paid off. Okay? All right. Okay, number 6, more credit card information. When you use your card, pay it off and don't keep using your card. So like use your card to purchase your inventory and then pay it off. And from there, you should be using like a card that's attached to your checking account, okay? Because you don't want to be racking that up. And your Mary Kay business card is for business. It's not to go buy a new pair of shoes with. It's for business, okay? Number 6, consistently hold appointments. You guys, I'm a firm believer that even if you're working another job, you can realistically hold 2 or 3 appointments a week. Because number 1 appointment should be at our Tuesday night event, which you're going to be at anyways. I know we all have 4 hours in our week that we could do 2 more events. An event's usually 2 hours. So I really think that we could, if we paid attention to our time, if we got off Facebook, if we stopped playing Candy Crush, if we stopped watching mindless TV shows, we could find an extra couple of hours in our schedule a week that we could be making money. Okay, consistently, no matter what. No, yeah, but, or no, what if, da-da-da-da. If you want the cash flow, you guys, if you're going to really create the cash flow you want and the cash flow you deserve for your family, then you've got to be consistent. 2 or 3 appointments a week, no matter what. If you guys do that, you're going to start selling anywhere from $400 to $600 a week, you guys. $400 to $600 in sales a week. That's going to be anywhere from $1,600 to $2,400 deposited in your account each month, and half of that's your profit. So anywhere from $800 to $1,200 a month. $800 to $1,200 a month. Think of the bills you're going to pay with $1,200. It's consistency, you guys. Consistency, consistency. All right, number 7. Make your power start 15 faces in 2 weeks or 30 faces in 30 days. That's your goal, always. 15 faces in 2 weeks, 30 faces in 30 days. Yeah, you'll be a little more tired than what you are now when you've done 5 faces in the last 2 months, but trust me, it's something you'll get. It's like a happy tired, satisfactory. Like when you finish your first race and you're just like, I'm exhausted, but that was like the best thing ever. Same kind of thing here, okay? Number 8. Don't look back. Stay focused forward. Look at your possibilities. What can happen next week? What can happen next month? Don't look at those people that all canceled yesterday. Keep moving on. If they didn't reschedule, or if they were falling off the face of the earth, you guys, that's God saving you from an appointment where nobody was going to buy anything. So just keep moving on. Number 9, commit to doing your part, you guys. Let God take care of the rest. Be disciplined on what needs to be done, and then let him take care of the rest. People ask me all the time, how do you get up so early when you work from home? Why don't you sleep in? I can't. We have goals, we have dreams, and I've got to be disciplined to make them happen. Because if I don't, who else is going to? You've got to be disciplined to make it happen. Put your big girl panties on, girls. Let's get to work. Number 10. This is one of my favorites. You guys, see yourself as who you are. Too many times when we look in the mirror, we bring ourselves down and we don't look at our potential. We don't look at who we really actually are. You are smart. You are successful. You are financially fit. You are a business woman, and you deserve the best. See yourself as that. If you don't see yourself as that, start telling yourself that. Would you teach that to your daughters? Would you look in the mirror and tell your daughters, or like, would you want your daughter to say, I'm not pretty, I can't do this? She's going to say, no, I'm not successful, I don't have what it takes. Because that would kill me if I hear Bella saying that. I don't want the boys to say that. I mean, I don't want my kids, I want my kids to have confidence. So you have to have that confidence. And you're not going to wake up tomorrow and suddenly have confidence. You've got to tell yourself that. And if you don't feel it yet, start filling yourself with, I'm a child of God. And then look at yourself through his eyes. I'm a child of a king. I am unique in his eyes. He cares enough to know the numbers of hairs on my head. That matters. And if you matter to him, then you matter to your family and you matter to these women you're coming in contact with. Give yourself credit for the person you are and the potential that you have. Dress the part for who you're becoming. It doesn't mean go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. It means carry yourself in a successful manner that people look at her and say, she's a child of the king and she knows it. She knows it. Look at her walk with confidence. Look at her posture. Look at her smile. Look at her genuine look as she looks people in the eye. Look at her shake people's hands. Look at her. I want a piece of that. And that's when people are going to be like coming to your team. We are 2 minutes over, you guys. We need to get going, but I just wanted to tell you a quick story. That whole person I just described to you, somebody who's a child of the king and she looks people in the eye and she shakes people's hands. Not me. Was not me. Never. To shake someone's hand just made me cringe because I just wanted to go hide. I didn't want to have to. I never looked people in the eye when I talked to them. These are skills I've learned in Mary Kay. Make women feel important. When you're talking to them, you focus on them. You don't focus on the room around them. She's the only person in the room when you're talking to her. And take that first step forward if you need to, because not everybody has the confidence to come up and speak to you. So a couple of weeks ago, I went with my mom to a family function to meet a second, third cousin. I don't know. She was here visiting from Florida. And we went into this event, and I talked to my cousin, introduced myself to her. We communicated on Facebook, so I knew, who she was and everything. And then we went into the room, and we met more family members. There was my great aunt was there from a nursing home. She's amazing. I love her to death. And my cousin's fiance, I had never met her, but I just made sure I wanted to talk to specific people and get to know them. And just talking with them, sitting down and having a few-minute conversation one-on-one. And then pretty soon I would excuse myself and go to the next person and talk to 4 or 5 people in half an hour. We were there. But it was interesting because my mom said, I've never seen you do that before, and that's something I could never do. I could never do. Last weekend, I took my mom again to one of those paint and sip thingies. And we walked into the room, and I knew I'd been to him before, but I walked into the room, and there were about 50 people there. And I was there with my mom. I knew the instructor, but I didn't really know anybody else that was there. And as soon as we walked in, my mom took 4 steps backwards. And she was like, I can't do this. There's too many people here. I can't do this. And I said, Mom, we're just going to go sit down. So we walked around the room to find some extra seats, and we pulled up next to there was an empty seat beside my mom, and then it was her, and then it was me, and there was a lady beside me. And I knew I was going to be sitting beside this lady for 2 hours, so I just sat down and I introduced myself, and she told me her name, which escapes me right now. And I said, you look familiar. Where have I seen you from? What do you do for a living? And she works at Walmart. And we just had a really quick conversation, and most of the night I spent talking to my mom because I was there with her. And at the end of the night, she said, I could never do that. You guys, my mom has been in public business. She's been in retail for 40 years, but people come to her. And she said, I can't look people in the eye like that. I can't start a conversation. I can't be the first one to reach for someone's hand. And she said, I've never been able to see you do that before. And I just think that's really cool. And I looked at her and I said, it's this business. This business has taught me who I am. And it's made me proud to be a child of the king. And it's made me proud to share that with other people, to share confidence with them, and to share this opportunity with them. You guys, that's what you do every day. And when you do that consistently, that's going to help your business. It's going to filter into everything. You guys know that's going to filter into your life, but it's going to filter into your money management. It's going to filter into your bookings because people want to book with somebody who's confident and they know what they're doing. Okay? So just a few tips with you. Practice confidence this week. Practice looking at yourself in the mirror and just say, I'm a child of the King. I'm a child of the King. That's your affirmation this week. I'm a child of the King. Okay? So we're going to go 6 minutes over. You guys, get online this week. Give us some feedback tonight, if possible. Tomorrow morning at the latest. Make sure you're doing your homework. That's one, the voucher system. Make sure you fill out your vouchers for us for last week if you haven't. We have one more week of Intentionally Fearless, and we're going to wrap stuff up. Your magic word for tonight is intentionally consistent. All right, ladies, we are 6 minutes over, so have a great night.